I've always wanted to become a YouTuber. I remember the first time I thought that I want to create content. It was a YouTube Rewind with Lindsey Sterling, and it seemed so magical to me, being able to be recognized, to build a community based on oneself. The idea was always so intriguing to me, but unfortunately, I've never really got the guts to actually do it consistently. Now, years later, I've been a lurker on this site. I've seen the site go through many phases, going from the reaction channels, the pranking videos, diss tracks, and so on. The ecosystem of YouTube has always been a fascination of mine. It's intriguing to see the phases that the site has gone through over the years. However, as a viewer, I do not like where it is going right now. I'm a very small voice in all of this being just a viewer. I'm uncomfortable with commenting on content. I only really view and put a like on whatever I feel so inclined. But I feel that, one, knowing in my real life, no one's going to really understand my thoughts about this. And two, I just have something to say, even if it's out into great ether that is the internet. So, to save me from rambling and to save you from listening to me for long, I'm going to split this into several little parts. Beginning with influencers. I remember when they were just called YouTubers. People that were able to bring together others with just their personality and interests, putting themselves out there into a very free environment, opening themselves up for criticism and praise. For me, these were just people being people doing what they love. I even remember when the ads were first put on and the annoyance that came. Well, look at all of them now. The distance between creator and audience was so small. These people weren't actors and held on such high pedestals. They were just people interacting with each other. That has certainly changed. It's now become a child's poker game with the high stakes of someone's living, safety, and life on the line. Some of these influencers are relishing in this game. I'm sure you can think of a few. It almost seems like it's out of nowhere that these creators go after another about beef that's entirely in between them, and in more recent, serious matters using essentially what is blackmail, and not even proven, credible blackmail, to destroy their friends. I mean, really their competitors. I thought we learned last year that this behavior is not okay. I believe it was one of the instigators that was going on a rampage on Twitter said that enough was enough. Was it enough? When people just brushed over your involvement? When you just happened to end up on top somehow? And YouTube as a company has made it clear they do not want this. But again and again, influencers are continuing to create this war zone that is eventually going to ruin it for all of us. I don't think these influencers realize they are a very small part of this platform. And these influencers really do have influence. Over who? Their communities. For me, the idea of building a community was such a comforting idea. Being able to find people that you relate with, to agree with you and enjoy the same things that you do. To see no one's coming out of the woodwork, being so loved and supported by strangers on the internet. To rally together for good causes and for good memories. Of course, there is always the bad apples in the group. I am seeing now batches are becoming rotten because of too many bad apples. I believe that we are attracted to and want to be around people that are a lot like us. I'm subscribed on my personal account to a large variety of people. I like to see multiple views on different ideas, different likes, different hobbies. And looking at the most recent drama, I guess for lack of a better word, I can see the correlation between how influencers behaves and how the most vocal part of their communities act. By going after another YouTuber's sponsors, you're setting an example for your audience. You're opening the stage for your communities to go after blood in some cases. Now, this is merely an example, but there are so many cases of communities going after others, and a lot of times, bloodthirsty vengeance on accusations. And the consequences of the influencers and their vocal communities ultimately place a detriment on this platform. The bringing of the adpocalypse, for starters. The lives that are a continual state of harassment over unfounded or disproven accusations. Most of them coming from Twitter. Mind you, that is a whole other topic for a whole other day. And the evidence that is shown is misleading and does not hold the context in which the evidence was found. But because that evidence is brought up so much, it often becomes reality, a fake truth for those that blindly follow and attack. And after they've done their damage, they move on. Or, in some cases, attacking the same individual until they can't move over a fake truth, an accusation. Now, I'm not going to name too many people in this video because I'm sure you can flip the names back and forth. But one thing that I've noticed that has come up is accountability. There's been a lot of talk of accountability in a variety of situations, and very few I have seen have truly taken responsibility with evidence of change. Accountability is not apologizing and creating a whole video with a pity party about something you did and come back and eventually going back to previous behaviors. Accountability is not creating a video claiming you're taking responsibility, creating apology notes for Twitter and pushing blame on other people. Accountability is not hiding it for years until the whole internet is on a witch hunt in which you have no choice but to admit wrongdoing. Accountability is taking responsibility and recognizing wrongdoing and changing it without having to be asked. It is educating yourself and admitting what you did wrong. We need more examples of accountability and change on this platform, such as Jenna Marbles. And unfortunately, because of this witch hunt culture that both influencers and communities have created, she's no longer wanting to be part of this anymore. I don't blame her, honestly. This is a bloodbath on all sides, and I can't imagine the fear of ruin people have in that position. And I hope that may be her or others, that we have more people to look as an example of people that are human, that are able to change and have been able to set an example for others who hasn't done the best things in the past, but is wanting to do better in the future and striving for it. I don't want to discredit those that have debunked accusations made towards themselves or others. That is a very important part of this as well. We need to be able to get all the facts from all sides, especially now because there are so many sides to all of these situations, and all must be made into account. And I applaud those that were able to stand up even when there was a mob formed against them. A lot of these influencers that are in this drama, they have companies that they've built. They have brands they need to uphold. And frankly, I have found that the latest drama over the last couple months, their behavior as a brand representative, as a representative for their own company, is unprofessional. I would not in a million years want to buy their product based solely on that behavior. This behavior of silence after what years of having everything to say about a subject, or deflecting blame onto others and dodging questions. That's not professional. Now, after saying all of this, I want to make it clear that this isn't every influencer in their communities. Unfortunately, there is a very loud minority of influencers and communities on this platform that are creating negative change based on their actions. And I think it is important to recognize that and put a spotlight on that. A lot of drama and a lot of stuff have been coming out about even creators that I've admired. At some point, it's really got me thinking about who I support and why I support them. I realized I need to make a line in which I can say that I cannot support this influencer anymore. And I have reached that point with a few influencers. And it's been a struggle, quite honestly. You want to see the good in people. You want to see them change. You want to see them succeed because you've seen so many good things from them. But there has to be a line. And I know that line personally for myself. And for all of you that may be or may not be watching this video, to make that line now. Because we are merely in the middle of all of this. And I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. And we need to be able to determine what our line is in all of this mess. Now, I'm going to only mention one other person in this video. In Tati Westbrook's latest video, talking about Dramageddon from last year, there's a statement that she made that I have a little bit of a different interpretation compared to most of the things that I've seen. I don't have the video up in front of me, but something along the lines of being able to forgive those whose blackmail may be coming out. Now, I think that was not the greatest wording. How I interpret that is to view it with a grain of salt. We know the person that may be releasing this information. We know that this person is not a trustworthy source of information. So much like in Dramageddon last year, we need to have a grain of salt when it comes to this blackmail that may come out. Now, that is my own interpretation. I don't agree with a lot of things in that video. It should have never happened in the first place. It should have never happened. These were grown adults, full grown adults who knew better. It's high school drama that is ruining lives, that's putting lives at risk, and that isn't the only example. We need to be able to determine what is worth all this anger, petty, personal drama between former friends, or something that should be taken to legal authorities. Either way, I'm tired of seeing it on the internet. Like someone said semi-recently, it's a circus. But I don't think that is a proper representation of what is going on and how these communities act. This isn't a circus. This isn't fun anymore. This isn't beautiful. The colors are blinding. This is a witch hunt. So, in the conclusion of this video, I hope that something I've said has resonated with maybe even one of you. I don't make this video in hopes of it getting super far. I just wanted to say something. I don't expect everyone to agree with things that I've said in this video. This is just me getting my thoughts out there somehow in a productive way. As a viewer of YouTube for the good majority of my life, I'm seeing it become a very toxic and a very uncertain place. I stated at the beginning that I've always wanted to become a YouTuber. I've always wanted to create that community, but seeing the environment that has been created within the spheres of the internet, it makes me very uncertain of whether or not it'd be okay for even I to try this thing out. I hope you are all doing well in this very uncertain time. I hope you're safe, and I hope you're taking extra precaution to keep yourself healthy and happy. And I hope you have a good one.